Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, your Movie Apprentice, and today I'm going to be looking at Fall, directed by Scott Mann and starring Grace Caroline Curry and Virginia Gardner. And this film follows two friends who decide to climb a 2,000-foot radio tower in order to help one of them scatter the ashes of their late husband. But after the ladder collapses on them from the top, they are stuck 2,000 feet in the air with no way of getting help. So to start off with the positives, Scott Mann and cinematographer McGregor are brilliant at really putting into perspective the sense of vertigo and the height of this thing. There is a lot of moments in this film where me, as someone who, while I don't mind flights and roller coasters, I always freeze up if I'm on one of those leap of faith adventure park things. So seeing all these shots looking downwards, it was nail biting and it was tense. The tension they build in this film is absolutely fantastic. With such a small space to work with, you would think, how are they going to manage to make this entertaining? Well, they managed to do it in a very big way. Every small moment of them having to do something that's going to risk them falling always has you at the edge of your seat with your knuckles white. And in the bits in between, the character dynamics between our two leads is really well done as well. You fully believe that these two have been friends for a very long time. And whilst their conflicts are very predictable, it is still nice to see these things play out. This is a film that you take a mix of The Scent, 127 hours, and 47 meters down, and put it in a blender. That's what you get. And that's another thing that is unfortunately what drags this film down for me. While it is very greatly paced and the acting between the two leads is brilliant, and the way they play with the vertigo and the scenic setting is really good to look at. Like, if this film's in 3D at all anywhere, I would recommend it, but only if you can handle vertigo, because there's a lot of shots that are looking straight down at the ground from the top, and you are honestly surprised how there are people that just do this for fun all the time. I could never do that. As it's always said, there are no original ideas in Hollywood anymore. And while that is true, it's all about how you present the movie. And this does not offer anything fresh apart from the setting. Like I have said earlier, it is a mix of The Descent, 47 meters down, and 127 hours. But for the most part, it is just 47 meters down. Like, almost scene for scene, point by point. You sub out two sharks for two vultures, and you sub out the 47 meters down or 2,000 feet up. That is literally the only major differences between the two. The way it plays out and the twists and turns are pretty much exactly the same. And that's where it really drags it down for me. There was a while I thought I knew exactly where this film was going. Like, from the get go, I knew exactly what the relationships between our main characters were within 2 seconds of them interacting with each other. It does go about trying to downplay your expectations of what you're expecting from this movie, but then we'll completely 180 on that and say, yeah, what you're expecting to happen is exactly what happens. And that really bugs me in this. I honestly cannot believe that this film has done something that really pissed me off in the previous movie before, and it's done it again in this one. And whilst it is better executed, I would say, it is still a slap in the face for the viewing audience. Jeffrey Dean Morgan also features in this as our lead character's father. He only has a couple of scenes, but he has always shown that no matter if his films are good or bad, he is always a standout in it. He was in that film a couple of years ago where he was investigating a miracle as a skeptic, and while that film was awful, he was the highlight of this. With Fall, he is very much a bit part player, and the two leads in this are definitely front and center of the show. But when Jeffrey Dean Morgan is on screen, you really can't help but buy into the dynamic between him and our lead character. So overall, for me, Fall is a gorgeous film to look at. It is very tense and it is very nicely paced, and the relationship between our two lead characters that are stuck up there together is really well done. And watching them figure out different ways to try and either better the situation or at least get rescued, that is something that was really well done. but unfortunately, it reeked of just being a carbon copy of a different movie, literally beat by beat. And that's going to drag things down for me. When I'm watching a movie, I want people to say it was something new. And while the setting was very well executed and very well used, it was the exact same movie as another movie that I didn't like previously. And as a result, it really knocked the grade down for me. Whilst I can see why they've done this and how it did help build a third act climax for us, it is annoying with these sorts of films. There's three ways that these films can go. I always want to go one of two ways, but it always goes a third way. And it is predictable, and that is always going to be something that bugs me in the long run as soon as I leave the theatre, no matter how good it has been before these moments. So overall for me, I'm going to have to say that Fall is an okay cup of tea. So far, have you seen it? If you have, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. You made it this far into the video. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this coming all the time. Coming up on the channel, I do want to get a late review of Beast out, and I might review The Invitation if there is enough buzz for it, because that film is an absolute disaster. As well as, I have this video essay that I'm working on currently. Not sure when it's going to come out, but I hope you guys will stick around and check it out. But until next time, my name is Josh. I have been your Movie Apprentice. I'll see you all